follow you into the new year. Cars Plus, reminding you to put your phone down while driving. Distractions won't get you there. Heads up, Guam. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurants, always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Straight ahead, we take you to the Guam International Country Club, where the body of a man and woman were pulled from a lake, and a daughter of Guam sworn in today in the nation's capital as the U.S. ambassador to the southern European nation of Albania. Plus, they want out. Mayors recommend someone else take over running the island's annual Liberation festivities.
Off day and good evening. Thanks for joining us. Let's get right to it. Tragedy on the links at the Guam International Country Club as the bodies of a man and woman were pulled out of one of the lakes on the golf course. Chris Barnett was on scene as the emergency response crews rushed to Dededo to provide assistance.
Registered and ready to hit the links. And then something went terribly wrong.
Shortly before 10 o'clock this morning, officers from the Dededo Precinct Command responded to the Guam International Country Club relative to two bodies found in one of the lakes along the golf course.
KUAM News on the scene as medics and emergency personnel began responding to the scene on the golf course. GFD rescue crews in swim gear, including fins, had to pull the bodies from the lake on the fifth hole.
When units arrived, they were met with Guam Fire Department's Rescue Units 1 and medical units from GFD.
Police spokesperson Paul Tapao confirms two bodies pulled from one of the lakes, a male and a female, both rushed to Guam Regional Medical City. Rigor mortis had set in on the male body, first responders performing CPR on the woman, but she was not revived.
Now this is classed as a drowning, as our officers continue to work with GICC staff in ascertaining more information about the victims relative to this case. We do know that they had registered and are guests of the country club.
KUAM also trying to speak with staff at GICC. Can you just confirm?
Sorry, I have to call the Japanese embassy.
Ma'am, so you guys closed the golf course?
Actually, we are advised right now.
Can you just give us any information about what just happened?
I cannot really relay information right now. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry.
Officer Tapao, meanwhile, confirms detectives from the Criminal Investigation Division were activated to look into what transpired, leading to their deaths. But for now, it's too soon to say what happened. Staff who wished not to be interviewed told KUAM the male and female who drowned were an elderly married Japanese tourist couple who had a 7:05 tea time. Another source on the scene also told us a boy drowned in one of the lakes at GICC when it was first built. For Guam's News Network, I'm Chris Barnett.
FB Leon Guerrero Middle School in Jigo was placed on lockdown this afternoon, according to Guam Department of Education spokesperson Isa Baza. The shelter-in-place procedure was initiated shortly after 1 o'clock this afternoon as a result of a fight between several students. Baza adds the Guam Police Department was on site responding to the incident. The lockdown lasted until the students' dismissal at 3:30 in the afternoon. Both parties are gearing up for trial in William Tapasnia Mantanotnia's federal case. Mantanotnia faces obstruction of justice charges along with his brother, retired GPD officer John Boom Mantanotnia, and former juror Greg Takenko. They are accused of conspiring to influence the jury to vote not guilty in the Raymond Martinez and Juanita Moser drug trial. Mantanotnia's pretrial conference hearing this morning included arguments as the prosecution's evidence includes the jury instructions, opening and closing arguments from the Martinez trial, and the defense wants to exclude the exhibit. Mantanotnia's attorney William Gavris argued that the evidence is not relevant to his client as the instructions were read to the juror Greg Takenko. Assistant U.S. Attorney Rosetta San Nicolas responded that the instructions are relevant because they prove to Takenko was a juror and present his responsibilities as a juror. San Nicolas further argued that the exhibit will be offered as an aid for understanding to the jury. Chief Judge Francis Tadenko Gatewood ruled in favor of the government and will allow the evidence. Trial has been set for the 15th. The defense has an issue with the pre-sentence investigation report in Emmanuel Resalop and Jordan Ratchalop's case. The two brothers were found guilty for various charges related to the assault for the Mangilao machete attack incident that occurred last June. Appearing for a status hearing this afternoon, Resalop's attorney Samuel Tecker tells the court he plans to file objections to the report and the government did not oppose. Attorney Tecker tells KUAM, quote, "I believe probation was unaware that there was a second August 2019 indictment that changed the one of two charges or counts, which led to a little confusion." He adds the judge was kind enough to grant a continuance so that all parties may address these important issues. Judge Vern Perez scheduled sentencing for the 24th. In Saipan, 3 casino construction workers were brought out on stretchers and rushed to the Commonwealth Healthcare Center emergency room following an incident that occurred at the project site. KUAM's Adriana Cotero reports.
Falling about 1 story down while working on the multi-million-dollar casino resort in Garapan. This morning, 3 construction workers fell about 10 feet down and landed on the ground. According to Department of Fire and Emergency Medical Services spokesperson Derek Gersandi, it was at 11:24 a.m. when a 20-year-old man was on top of a man-made scaffold when it suddenly collapsed and fell onto 2 other men. Gersandi says upon arrival, 2 of the patients were found laying on their backs, and the third was sitting upright. DFEMS reports the patient sustained multiple contusions and abrasions to the lower back area, lacerations and swelling. All 3 men were treated and transported to the Commonwealth Healthcare Center emergency room. Imperial Pacific International declined an interview, however, provided this statement. "It's always unfortunate that incidents happen at construction sites. We pray for the speedy recovery of the workers involved and will cooperate fully with U.S. OSHA and DPW on investigating the cause. We will continue to uphold and enforce high safety standards," end quote. And this is not the first time construction workers have been injured at the project site. Back in 2017, a Chinese man fell down 3 stories, resulting in a fatality. Following the incident, U.S. OSHA inspectors visited and deemed the site hazardous, issuing multiple violations in regards to scaffolding installments. After various amendments to the casino license agreement, the deadline for the casino resort completion was extended to February 2021. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
There's still no MOU between the governor's office and the Treasury Department. Today was the target deadline to get an agreement signed so the administration can begin processing local war claims checks. They need the deal to ensure GovGuam is reimbursed for the payments. Chief of Staff Tony Babalta has been the point man for the talks with Treasury.
Still reviewing it, but we've been in communication. There doesn't seem to be any flags that are being raised right now. I think it's just a part of their process, and we would have loved to have them meet our deadline of today, which is still Thursday in the mainland. But we're still working with them very closely, and we will continue to do so.
The administration is also keeping a close eye on Congressman Michael San Nicolas's Bill 1365, which would authorize Treasury to release millions of dollars for war claims payments that have been on hold because of a technical flaw in former Delegate Madeline Bordallo's legislation. San Nicolas has warned that the new law signed by Governor Lulian Guerrero authorizing interim local payments are drawing concerns in Congress. But Babalta, a former Interior Department Assistant Secretary, says it's not unusual for members to raise concerns about funding.
For Guam, and so being able to understand that, I think, is just a small hurdle that needs to be overcome, and I'm certain that they would be able to find that information out, either talking to their House counterparts or even talking to the Department of the Interior or Delegate San Nicolas's office himself.
Babalta believes the members just need to understand that the payments will not come from Treasury's general fund and that it's money already allocated to Guam that's been set aside to pay war claims. Yuri Kim was sworn in today as the U.S. ambassador to the southern European nation of Albania. Kim was raised on island and is a graduate of the Academy of Our Lady of Guam. She has been a State Department Foreign Services officer for more than 2 decades and most recently served as director of the Office of Southern European Affairs. Some of those in attendance were former Congresswoman Madeline Bordallo and former Guam Congressman Robert Underwood. The ceremony was held in Washington, D.C. Mayors are looking to unload Liberation festivities, but who should take over the 76th Liberation Carnival and Parade? Chris Barnett has more.
They've had enough. The Mayor's Council of Guam saying they want out of Liberation. Sinania Mayor Robert Hoffman saying mayors get hate when they're just trying to celebrate.
I'm tired of being hit up, beat up, talked about, dragged through, and Because honestly, none of us need to do it. We do it because we love our Manamco, we want to have a great celebration, but I've never seen anywhere after the 4th of July fireworks in Washington, D.C., do all the people coming up. Did you know they spent $75,000 in Washington, D.C. on fireworks, and so-and-so did this, and so-and-so's the MC, and they got canopies for that? No, it's a beautiful celebration, everybody claps, goes away.
Executive Director Angel Sablan opened discussion on the issue by saying he felt the Guam Visitors Bureau would be a good fit.
Not only are they experienced in putting together fairs and festivals and whatnot, but they also have the funding sources. And the time of liberation is also the time of the Guam Micronesian Island Fair. And I think they can take both, and both of them can live side by side or be operated side by side, and have a successful 76.
PD Mayor Jesse Allig said it's about who has the know-how when it comes to organizing events.
We're not passing the buck on this. I think it's more about expertise. We talk about funding, we talk about no gambling, and only gambling works, so on and so forth. You know, times have changed. Do we need a 70-day carnival? Do we need a 10-day carnival?
And Hoffman said the council should consider their options.
God forbid any of us die, I don't think anybody would figure out how to run a parade or organize a memorial, because we've done it for so long that I think people are going to be scratching their heads like, oh, we need this. So you're right, but I don't think we should limit ourselves to GBB. It could be a foundation, it could be a nonprofit, it could be the museum, it could be a whole new entity just saying, hey, you know what, do it.
Mayors plan to meet with the governor next week to begin discussion on a way forward. For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
Still to come on Prime Time, the latest is Congress takes action to limit President Trump's war powers. Plus, you've seen the eyesores all across the island. Find out what's being done to fix the problem. That and more on the way when Prime Time returns.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
At the mall as you enjoy your shopping, dining, or entertainment. You could also win 3 great cars from Atkins Kroll and thousands of prizes in Micronesia Mall's Cars, Prizes, and Getaways game. Present your mall receipts and have a chance to win the renowned performance Chevrolet Camaro, the unapologetic rugged Toyota 4Runner, or the head-turning Lexus ES 350 Luxury. Getaways to Manila, courtesy of Philippine Airlines, plus prizes from Foot Locker and Burger King. The more you shop, the more chance to win in Micronesia Mall's Cars, Prizes, and Getaways game.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
It makes myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Gila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the islands. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. Congress is taking a first step to limit President Trump's war powers and force him to come to Congress before he takes any future military action against Iran. Skylar Henry reports.
The radical left Democrats have expressed outrage over the termination of this horrible terrorist.
President Trump lashed out Thursday night at congressional Democrats for their criticism over the killing of Iran's top general, Qasem Soleimani.
They're all trying to say, how dare you take him out that way? You should get permission from Congress.
The president spoke at a campaign rally in Toledo, Ohio, after the House passed a resolution aimed at limiting his ability to wage war against Iran.
The current resolution is adopted.
Republicans denounced the effort ahead of the vote, almost entirely along party lines.
This resolution plays politics with national security.
What message is it sending to Iran?
Democrats said President Trump's decision to kill Soleimani last week in a drone attack made the resolution necessary.
He endangered our servicemen and women, our diplomats, and others by taking a serious risk of escalation with tensions with Iran.
It has united the Iranian people, not against their government, but against us.
As early as next week, the Senate could take up a similar measure to require President Trump get congressional approval before taking further action against Iran. Tensions with Iran appeared to ease this week after there were no casualties from retaliatory missile attacks on two bases housing U.S. soldiers in Iraq. But a commander for Iran's Revolutionary Guards warned that the Islamic Republic would take harsher revenge on America soon.
After the House vote, the White House issued a statement saying the president has the right and duty to protect this nation and our citizens from terrorism. That's what he continues to do, and the world is safer for it. A big change is in the works for the rooftop solar industry. GPA is proposing to require that battery backup be installed as part of any new systems. But solar companies are opposing the proposal, saying it will only add more costs to consumers. Nestor Lecanto reports.
GPA spokesperson Patty Diego says they held a public hearing Thursday night seeking industry input. She says GPA's main concern in requiring the batteries was to address intermittency when solar power drops off because of cloud cover. GPA says the battery backup will provide a more seamless delivery of power, and they will require it even from utility-scale solar providers.
Not only are we bringing it on, but we're bringing on the solution that will help balance all the load so that at the end of the day, we want to try to reduce the power outages that affect customers.
But solar company MRE COO Jeff Vocolo says he doesn't believe the rooftop solar is responsible for the outages, saying the 23 megawatts they provide are spread throughout the island, so it's hard to believe they alone are responsible for the outages. And it could be, he says, any number of problems with generation, transmission, or distribution. He also argues that the costs of battery backup will be a disincentive to future customers, including GDOE, which he estimates would save $5 million a year from solar installations. Diego, though, says management will include the industry testimony in their report to the CCU.
That is up for discussion at the work session on the 23rd. Then the CCU meets in its regular meeting, and if the report is blessed, then it goes over to the PUC.
If approved, GPA wants to implement the battery requirement by March. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Dr. Jose Cruz has passed away as a longtime educator, having served as a former president of the University of Guam and a former chairman of the Guam Education Policy Board. He was also vocal in the fight against legalizing gambling on Guam, serving as the president of Lanetlasin Casino. Dr. Cruz was 73 years old. EOG President Dr. Thomas Kreis posted on social media that rosaries are being held at the chapel at the cathedral, while the funeral will be held on the 18th at the cathedral from 9 a.m. to 12:30 in the afternoon. Island mayors are looking to address what they say is a threat: abandoned structures in the villages that are becoming a safe haven for trouble.
Dedito Mayor Melissa Zavares says abandoned structures, the overgrown hollow shells of houses and buildings, are trouble spots.
We get squatters that go into them, people who are homeless and have nowhere else that they want to go, but live in this kind of condition. And, you know, just illegal activities sometimes take place in these places. And drug deals.
Zavares also spoke about the unsolved rape of a young girl that took place in her village last year.
Because of overgrown vegetation and probate issues with a structure in an old home, you know, families tend to just let these things overgrow. And we had rape, right, in a neighborhood. And so these homes are in the middle of housing areas, you know, residential areas, and become a potential threat for the neighborhood.
Who owns these abandoned buildings?
Some live on Guam, others are off island, and just no turning back to see what's going on with their property.
Savara says her colleagues on the Mayor's Council of Guam are all concerned about the problems that arise from these structures.
And especially when you have children around, where they're in school zones, you have children walking to and from school or to bus stops or even to stores. I mean, near parks. We have abandoned structures near parks.
So what are your mayors going to do about it? Savara says they've touched base with the Department of Public Works Director Vince Ariola, and they say he's the only one with the authority to tell property owners to clean up or pay up.
Advise these property owners that if they don't do anything with the property and get it either cleaned up or demolished or fixed up, then he will, see to it that DPW does and does something to correct the situation, and then send the bill to the property owner.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Chris Barnett.
The A.B. Wampat Guam International Airport Authority is celebrating its 44th anniversary. Acting Governor Josh Tenorio signed a proclamation declaring this Airport Week. GIAA Deputy Executive Manager John Kanata says the pronouncement is a testament to the importance of the airport as the lifeline for our #1 tourism industry.
Of course, when our visitors arrive, we are the first impression when they get here, and so we have to provide a pleasant environment for our airline or our visitors when they arrive. We're also the last impression. So when they leave, we got to make sure that the departure for our airport visitors is as smooth as possible.
The airport is eagerly awaiting the completion of a third-level international arrivals corridor. It will enhance the aesthetics of the terminal by eliminating the need for the temporary partitions that separate inbound and outbound passengers. The nearly $120 million project is scheduled to be completed later this year. With a rising number of drug cases on island Guam, lawmakers were briefed by members of the U.S. Coast Guard Sector Guam about their drug interdiction efforts. They were also briefed on emergency response as well as port security and safety and enforcement. Coast Guard Sector Guam's jurisdiction covers the waters of Guam, CNMI, Palau, and the FSM. The briefing was requested by Speaker Tina Muñoz-Barnes, who says additional meetings will be held in the coming days to further strengthen and improve the partnership between Gov Guam and the U.S. Coast Guard. Stay tuned. Up next in sports, we'll meet this week's Dial Rent-to-Own Athlete of the Week. Keep it here.
Adulting isn't so hard when you have a mobile plan that lets you live your best life now. With Docomo Pacific's Gen Z Club, pay as low as $50 a month when you bring your own phone. Get endless access to your favorite apps like Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and more. Plus endless local talk, text, and 15 gigabytes of data for everything else. Everything you need to live your best life. Join the Gen Z Club today. Some conditions apply. Docomo Pacific, better together.
Oh, yeah. Nailed it. That's what I'm talking about.
You okay, Glenn?
Dude, I'm just so pumped we got all this McDonald's at such a great price.
Yup, it's back. 2 for $6 mix and match. Big Mac, Quarter Pounder, Chicken McNuggets, or Filet-O-Fish for a limited time.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
This week's Athlete of the Week, ABC Store player Sean Biven. First year playing on the team, and this year's squad going undefeated in the holiday tip-off tournament. Man, how was it your first year with the squad?
It was a great experience because playing with new people, picking up experience. And
some of the players on the team, you guys play together in outside leagues. So talk about that chemistry and how easy it was for you guys to communicate on the court.
Yeah, so we played a lot together. We had a recent league called the ESA League. We just took championships, so like playing with the same people, it gives us that good sense of chemistry.
Okay, and facing Team Tutua in the semifinals, pulling off the win by 1 point, facing them again in the championship game. You know, what did you guys expect from that team heading into the title game?
Those guys were tough. We didn't know what to expect because they didn't have those two big men in the league, and then all of a sudden they came into the league, which was very tough for us because it was hard, like adjusting to their offense.
Talk about some of the players on the team and how they've contributed as far as skill set.
Russell Manaba, that is one of the best point guards that I've ever played, had the opportunity to play with, and also Harold Gerland, picking him up as a help, a center, like I could take it hard to the rim. Also Rico Gerland, because that guy contributes a lot on defense, even if it's not offense.
And the championship game, 2 seconds left on the clock, inbound play, your teammate catches the ball, dishes it to you, you take it to the rack for the game-winning shot at the buzzer.
Well, that was we only had like 2 seconds, and it was on timeout too, so we were just thinking of ways to set up the play, so we were just thinking like just throw the ball. So in my head I was like, this ain't gonna work, we're probably gonna go overtime. And then our teammate Rico had to throw the ball to Neil, but then I thought the time ran out, so Neil passed the ball to me, and I was like, damn, I'm gonna just take my time because the time ran out. But then this counted, so I didn't know what to think after that.
What's next for you? I know you defending champs in the ESA League, looking to repeat as champs.
Hopefully. We got a lot of strong players this year. We picked up 2 new people, so looking to put that into our offense and hopefully do something out of that.
And who do you want to donate your check to?
Oh, I would like to donate my check to KUAM Cancer Care.
The Holiday Pledge is definitely like an extension of the Holiday spirit, which is all about family. It doesn't matter where you're from or who you are. I wear this uniform. I'm definitely proud of my job and what we do. I not only live it in the uniform, but outside of the uniform as well. It's definitely a way of life. I live the Holiday Pledge every day of my life.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Welcome back. Before we wrap up the show, here's Jason Solis with your birthday shoutouts. Welcome back. Before we close out the news tonight, here is your latest round of birthday shoutouts from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
The work week is now winding down, but that doesn't mean we can't make some extra special Guamanians extra happy all over the world. So, say it with me as always, everybody. Happy birthday to A.R. Cruz, whose family says, Viva cumpleaños, Tata. Happy birthday to you. Also, Devin J. Fernandez, birthday number 15 to Devin. May your day be filled with love, joy, and blessings. This comes with lots of love from your entire family. And we have a cute belated birthday wish going out to Caden Petrus. Happy birthday number 2 from Mommy, Daddy, Big Brother CJ, and Grandma and Grandpa. They say, we love you to the moon and back. Caden had a birthday on the 9th. Hope you guys and girls and everybody around the world had a fantastic, fantastic.
You can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering on our website. As for the winner of this week's Cold Stone Creamery birthday cake, congratulations goes out to Alex Tanayan. His birthday was on the 7th. Congratulations, a representative from Cold Stone will be contacting you to let you know how you can redeem your delicious cake. And that's going to do it for us here on Primetime. Thanks for watching. Extras next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Green Energy Solutions, Inc. Visit GESIGuam.com or call 647-8111 for more details on how we can help your business save money.